Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. So today we are once again returning to the Kylo Ren movie, because it keeps getting stranger and stranger and stranger. And now that the dust has settled on the original story that broke, Star Wars fans are starting to notice there is something very off about this entire situation. As we know from previous years, they'll never confirm this, but if Lucasfilm wants to know how fans feel about a certain project, maybe a movie or show they're on the fence about, they'll reveal it in the form of a rumor via certain outlets, trades like Variety.com, The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, The Wrap, and so on, industry-focused publications. And those trades will usually say something like they heard it from an industry insider or a source close to the studio. It's part of a feedback loop to gauge audience sentiment. It's a way to see how fans are feeling about something and to manage the cultural temperature around upcoming projects. And I'm not saying this is something that they do often, but fans on social media are starting to wonder if there is something more to the Kylo Ren news. Now in this instance, it's not a rumor, it's official and from Adam Driver himself. But notice the way he points the blame at Disney. And remember guys, he said that Kathleen Kennedy, Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni loved the idea for the film, The Hunt for Ben Solo. Is the timing of this update releasing deliberate? Is this the beginning of a revival for the movie? Because there's a good portion of Star Wars fans who clearly want it, and yesterday someone literally paid for a Skybanner plane that says hashtag Save the Hunt for Ben Solo. So is there a chance that Lucasfilm, or to be more specific, Kathleen Kennedy, put Adam Driver up to this? She told him to talk about the movie publicly, and this is all done in a bid to prove Bob Iger wrong, to show him, look, Star Wars fans want this. It's a way of saying, let Lucasfilm do the creativity and let Disney fund it. Stay away from the creative process because we know what's best. Now I get it. All of this sounds very conspiratorial, but I don't think it's as far-fetched as you might believe. As someone on Twitter wrote, remember, they're testing you. This is the new way to market. And to be honest guys, with all of the crazy developments the last couple of days, I'm starting to think that anything is possible. And I've even seen a suggestion that if they do bring this back, Adam Driver might come onto the stage at Star Wars Celebration in Los Angeles in a couple of years. If Disney changes their mind, he might be the first to say the movie is back on. If Kathleen Kennedy is so adamant to push the post-episode 9 stuff, as Luke Skywalker once said, no one's ever really gone. But I have another theory which I want to propose. Someone noted a fascinating connection. So one of the post-Rise of Skywalker movies that isn't cancelled is the Rey movie. We don't know when it's going to go into production. I've been hearing spring 2026, but nothing is confirmed. If it's still going ahead, the current writer is George Nolfi. The writer of The Hunt for Ben Solo was Scott Z. Burns. Now these two share an interesting connection. Scott and George co-wrote the Bourne Ultimatum. Is it possible that because they're friends, because they discuss ideas and they've worked together in the past, that maybe the Rey movie is going to absorb some plot points from The Hunt for Ben Solo? Maybe they changed a few things, and then Disney finally said yes. Maybe that's the reason Adam Driver is so comfortable talking about this. Now I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but if you're not convinced, there is more evidence. On the very same day that this bombshell dropped, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy started posting very cryptic things on her Instagram page, ones which I believe are a clear nod to the Ben Solo situation. Check this out. She posted a quote from Rumi, and it says this: "If light is in your heart, you will find your way home." Now it could mean nothing. She has got a history of posting other inspirational quotes from other philosophers, world thinkers and theologians, but in this instance, I don't think it's a coincidence. Come on, mere hours after the Ben Solo update drops, she just happens to post this. This is talking about light in your heart, redemption. Adam Driver literally said in The Hunt for Ben Solo, the main theme was a spiritual awakening, him returning back to the light, and finding his way home is becoming a Jedi once more. And because he's a dyad in the Force with Rey, it's finding his way back to her, and probably joining her new Jedi Order. At least that's the way I'm interpreting this. And if Lucasfilm is having us on, if this is all a ruse, and as that person said, a marketing tactic, they got us really good. This has dominated not just Star Wars spaces, but general pop culture spaces. And here's the amazing thing about it. Only a week ago, people were saying how no one cares about the sequel characters, how no one's going to be interested in the Rey movie, and how Starfighter is dead on arrival if Rey appears at the end, as the rumors stated. But all of a sudden, the conversation shifts to Kylo Ren, and everything changes. Suddenly people are fine with the idea of post-sequel movies if they come with the promise of Ben. And I have gathered that Kylo Ren, and not Rey, is the most popular sequel character. That is what Disney and Lucasfilm should lead with. If they want to get us on board with Starfighter, with the Simon Kinberg trilogy, then teasing something with Ben Solo is definitely the way to go about it. It's certainly the way to get more fans on board. And look, I've spoken about the problems with bringing Ben Solo back. We've spoken in depth about Lucasfilm's problem with not killing off characters. But if we're talking about democracy, or as Palpatine would say, democracy, then it looks like the fans have spoken. And Adam Driver was such an incredible addition, acting-wise, to the Star Wars universe. So it isn't too hard to see why fans want more. And a few weeks ago I brought up the topic of rehabilitating Rey, what Lucasfilm can do to make fans actually like the character again. And we spoke about maybe Sean Levy's iteration being different, maybe Simon Kinberg doing things differently to J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. But it looks like Lucasfilm has their answer. If this was all a ploy to read the temperature in the room, the answer is clear. Just pair her with Ben Solo. And in even more Star Wars movie craziness, we have another huge update. After Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh, other directors are coming forward, revealing that they too had a cancelled Star Wars movie. Another name that's been revealed by Jeff Snyder is David Fincher, director of Fight Club, Are You Kidding Me?, Zodiac, Mindhunter, and Seven. And he too was slated to make a movie post-Episode 9. So this post-Rise, post-sequel trilogy initiative is much more wide-spanning than we thought. It's much more than the confirmed projects. They've been bouncing around different ideas, going through different writers and directors, several different projects, probably since around 2020. But I would take Steven Soderbergh or David Fincher any day of the week over Sean Levy and Simon Kinberg. Not dissing on them, I'm just saying in terms of quality, in terms of being able to craft a meaningful movie, the directors that didn't stick do sound like a more preferable choice. But again, that is subjective. And finally, my dear friends, I finally read the book, The Jaws of Jakku. This is the Audible exclusive that is set in between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, another era which Lucasfilm Publishing is obsessed with. Now here's the thing, for what it is, it's mediocre, it's fine, it had some fun moments, but also a lot of missed opportunities. Fans hoping for deeper character development for characters like Rey and Finn are going to be let down. Their arcs are rather static, and oftentimes they're not even the main focus of the story. I don't want to spoil things too much, but the highlight of the book for me is that they canonized a deleted scene from The Force Awakens, Onkar Plutt having his arm torn off by Chewie. The reason we know this is he's noted on Jakku after the events of Episode 7 to be missing one arm. It's a quaint little detail, but for fans of the deleted scenes, it was certainly a treat. But overall, not really my cup of tea. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. But with that said, share your thoughts on all of it in the comments down below. And do you want to hashtag save the hunt for Ben Solo? Or do you think it's best that this movie was never made?